Salesmanship. Salesmanship is defined as the level of skill you have in convincing people to buy or in persuading people to do something. The concept of salesmanship. Salesmanship is the ability to persuade people to buy goods or services at a profit to the seller and with benefit to the buyer. The nature and scope of salesmanship. Nature salesmanship has the ability to convince the people to buy a product or service. Scope of salesmanship has become unlimited. It is a skill which is essential in every sphere of human activity. Everyone of us in one sense or the other is a salesman. The importance of salesmanship. Salesman's in importance because it can help the consumer in making the right decision and proper selection of the product which they want to. Understanding consumer behavior. Consumer behavior is the study of consumer and the process they use to use and dispose of product and service, including consumer mental behavior response. Studying consumer behavior also important because this way marketing can understand what influences consumer buying decision. What is selling process is the series of steps your sales learn goes through to make a sale. It starts with lead generation and include qualification, contact, objection, handling, and more. It's the core of your sales program, and if it's working well, you'll close a lot of deals. Step that you might include in your selling process. 1. Prospecting. 2. Researching. 3. Connecting. 4. Presenting. 5. Addressing objection. 6. Closing and delivering. That's all. Thank you. This is Requilme. Quantitative salesmanship aims at increasing the sales of the exciting products or services. No matter how the sales have increased, Hardy main motive is to clear the stocks of the manufacturers in the competitive market. In order to increase the sales, the salesman must make all possible efforts most after credit is offered the prospective customers to both sales. Sometimes goods are offered at a cheaper price by the salesman. The main motive of the competitive salesman is to outwit the competitors in the market by increased sales volume. Competitive salesmanship aims chiefly at increasing the sales of the exciting product or services by adopting traditional methods and really use new and both methods in the selling process. Creative salesmanship hardly aims to increase sales, rather its job is to motivate customers and make them satisfied with the sales. Basically, creative salesmanship aims at creative sales for new and novel products or services. Even in specific case, product sales or sellers resort to creative salesmanship at increasing the sales of the exciting product or service by adopting traditional methods and really use new and innovative methods in the selling process. Creative salesman generally provides more emphasis on the utility and services of the products for sale. So salesmen do not aim at cheap sales and really adopt pressure tactics in selling. Instead, emphasis in giving to the ultimate satisfaction that the products or service will provide. A close look at the history of marketing clearly indicates, and it is only through creative salesmanship, that most of the products or services we see today have been introduced successfully in the market. Many of the products or services might not have seen the light of the day but for the creative salesmanship. Creative salesmanship requires adequate technical knowledge of the product. The more you know about the product, the more appeals or benefits for the customers will the salesman be able to think up creatively. This means that the salesman who work harder will make more appeals and sell more creatively. The quality of his salesmanship will determine to a large extent how creatively he can sell. More important perhaps that how much the salesman knows, how well he has organized such knowledge in the sales part on precision. Basically, the salesman has to sell the lead his product to the customer. Retail seller is not high pressure selling or trade. It is the result of the thinking of the salesmanship part and require imagination and record. It consists of making customer realize the need to thematizing it were required, arousing his curiosity, making him buy more in his own interest, and about making him buy now. Whether you sell a product, provide a service, or are a politician, your success depends on how you understand and implement the dynamics or creative selling. There are basically three types of selling: charismatic, classical, and creative. In charismatic selling, you become part of the value along with the product of service. A person buy because she like you the exact same product or service may be hand from many sources, but because the individual connect with you, they will purchase from you. You become an important part of the sale and you add more assurance. Classical selling is selling benefits, value, uniqueness, product or service. As a problem service, the buyers see the product or service as filling a need and by this resolve. They will hardly remember the sold person. The buyer's objective is in fulfilling their need no matter who the sales person. Creative selling is simply the art of allowing the prospect to sell healthy. You just act a guide in the process, pointing out those things that the prospect find most stimulating. You help the prospect build a mental picture so she can see himself, herself using and enjoying its benefits. Help the prospect to focus on the product so his my experience the feeling of ownership. Give the prospect and relationship between your product and the good life that she longs for. Turn the products into a living, breathing, vital thing. Creative selling is more than a pure words. It's a continuous process of letting the prospect know that his her welfare is every important to no matter what you sell. You must be less concerned with the product that you are with the prospect. Forget about how much you are going to make on the sales. That's the result of you doing your job right. The only things of importance is the prospect and the feeling of his or desires. A few simple rules can guide you toward the goal of creative salesmanship and do wonders for your pocketbook. 1. Know the product. The better you know the product, the better you can relay its benefits and engine the prospect in it. 2. Know your market. Where can you find new markets for your products? Are there any new use for it? Are you selling to the right demographics? 3. Know your prospects. Are you feeling the prospect need? Are you addressing his her concerns? 4. Know what you are going to say before you talk to the prospect. Prepare your presentation and know just how you're going to present it. Know the answer. For every stall or objection, the prospect will bring up with a latest practice until they master the game. You must commit yourself to be a master of salesmanship. 5. Now you're going to close the sales. Feel in your mind that the prospect needs what you are offering and that she will buy it. See yourself fulfilling the customer's needs, embrace the customer and his desires are their own. Be thankful and happy you are part of their buying experience. Attributes of a creative salesmanship. In addition to having a person who understands and apply the creative selling process, an organization should try to have sales people who possess certain attributes that can make them more effective in their jobs. These attributes which can be grouped into mental and physical merit for their description. Judgment, common sense, authority, intelligence. These and other terms are used interchangeably with judgment. A salesperson knows that it does not pay to argue with customers. The salesperson also knows that the purse should never be cut in front of customers. These situations reflect the use of good judgment on the parts of the employee. Please note that the term maturity is sometimes used in place of judgment, but that it is not necessarily a function of age. Many other people do not use good judgment, while some young employees will have a high level of common sense. Be tactful. If an employee has a keen sense of what to say and do, many problems can be overcome before they are created. Many employees give little thought to the impact of their actions. A child playing with toys and the toys stories told in manner to quit playing with the toys and go find their mothers. While all this is going on, the mother is standing being the person. What a confrontation with the child necessary. No could it have been handled differently? Is how does the child and mother feel about the store? The feeling is not good. This salesmanship, the ability to know what to do and say in order to maintain good customer relations. Attitude. A good salesperson would have a positive attitude towards consumer merchandise, services, and the business. A good attitude means that an employee is willing to accept suggestions, to learn and to apply the steps in the creative selling process, and to not be afraid of work. A salesperson with a bad attitude can create unnecessary problems, and a bad attitude is contagious. If any employee is otherwise competent, management should work with the employee to develop a positive attitude. Positive attitudes can resolve itself. Selected physical attributes. To be a success, a salesperson must physically belong in the particular environments. Personal appearance and personal hygiene are important in the selling environment. In terms of personal appearance, a slim salesperson would be more appropriate than a larger person in the sales position. At health, equally important in terms of personal appearance is a clothing salesman who was last year clothing, he will have difficulty in selling the latest functions to his customers. Personal appearance, just called it the selling equation. As per personal hygiene, body odor, bad breath, dirty hair, short clothes, atrophied shoes, and unkept and are all reasons why a sales may be lost. Obviously, be factful with handling the problem of personal hygiene and observance. Owner manager should keep a watchful eyes out for hygiene problems among the staff. When necessary, counsel the affecting employee in private about improving his or her appearance. If you do not feel physical attributes are important, ask yourself if you would buy low-calorie health foods from an average salesperson with body odor. Sounds funny, it is not. Your customers will usually react unfavorable today and similar inappropriate selling instruction. Word of caution: mental and physical attributes of salesperson are important management. Must continue to observe sales personnel in regards to the desired traits, either mental or physical attributes of individuals which change over time relative to desired attribution. Management must be aware of this possibility and attempt to correct any deviations from desired norms before problems. Targeted business can greatly enhance its probability of success by stressing the effective selling process, giving special attention to the desired mental and physical attributes of effective salesperson. Good effective selling can provide the competitive edge. Creative selling process. The creative selling process consists of 8 steps, none of which is less important than any other. If the process is to be effective, it should be emphasized to all employees that all steps are vital to the achievement of effective selling. 1. First, customers contact. Smart builders would not attempt to build a house without a good foundation. Like which a business person should not reach people on the sales floor or telephone until these people know their business, merchandise, services, and customers before any contact is made with the customer. Every salesperson should know 1. Policies, procedures, and rules. Have this in writing for all employees to see and know. 2. Operation of equipment. No matter whether the register is electronic or mechanical, the time to learn how to work is not after a sales while the customers with fortunes. Target market knowledge. The better salesperson knows something or the like and dislike of the first primary customers. The business operator should tell all sales personnel about the business customers and their lifestyles. Tell the sales people about customers' interests and ability to buy. Product knowledge. A salesperson gains confidence by knowing about the products and services he or she is selling. If a person sells shoes, it helps to know the merchandise as well as how to fit them. If a person sells building materials, the selling job is probably more effective if the salesperson can also help answer questions about home repairs. It helps the person who sells clothes to know some things about fabrics and corrects fashions. If the person is in the law service business, that person should know about local most personnel will not think the initiative to acquire product knowledge on their own. It is management's responsibility to encourage employees to gain product and service knowledge. Management should make this knowledge available to them. Prospecting, although not appropriate to every selling situation, prospecting should be used whenever possible. Essentially, prospecting involves not waiting for the customers to show up at a store's open about a service. It is connected with talking the innovative by going to the customer with a product or service idea. Prospecting may be on two types: new or regular customers prospecting. New customers prospecting. A salesperson sees that a person is getting married. Action is thinking on this knowledge by contacting the person and telling her about right items or services that might be our assistance to a new bride by using newspapers and personal contact. A salesperson can take the initiative to contact and create new customers. Regular customer or prospecting. A first-base prospect are its scoring customers. A salesperson should make a practice of calling regular customers on a periodic basis to tell them about products or services. Hello, Mr. Anderson. I just wanted to tell you about the new shipment of dresses we received today as a package. Then I show several that made me think of you. Prospecting with regular customers works. Also, people should be encouraged to prospect by phone and in person wherever they see regular customers, and word of caution must be emphasized. Do not go to the will to turn prospecting with the same regular customers or appropriate visit can make prospecting lose the special feeling that it can create in customers. Do not overuse it in initial contact. The most effective way to close a sales is to open it on a positive note. Unfortunately, most sales do not open this way. This typical initial store contact begins in the manner: "Clerk, may I help you?" Customers know things you enjoy looking. This ritual leaves much to be desired. Why it is an automatic statement that shows no creativity on part of the salesperson. Also because that customer has said the statement many times, his or her response is usually given without thinking what was said. Every salesperson should be challenged to treat each customer as an individual by responding differently to each customers. One contact also means responding to customers when they enter the sales areas even when they cannot be waited on immediately. Salespeople should be interactive to tell meeting customers that I'll be with you in a moment. Such actions will reduce the numbers of customers who live without being surveyed. When the employee is free to help the waiting customers, the intellectual comment should be "Thank you for waiting." A courteous, creative, and ritual contact with the customers can go a long way to promote sales. Representation of merchandise and presenting merchandise or services to the customers. The salesperson suggests product knowledge to this advantage. Although it is good to talk about the non-war horsepower, more customers may be more interested in hearing about how fast the lawnmower will cut the grass. Product knowledge is important, but the salesperson must remember what makes the customer buy. Clothes may be made of durable fabrics, but it is also important to state the employee benefits that they will also apply to the outfit. Six sales benefits or customers involvement. Product knowledge can be used to get customers involvement. Show the customers several picture of the digital watch and then have the customers put it on our feet. If the interest is there, it will be hard for the customers to take off the watch so that the salesperson can put it back into the case. The best way to present many products is to get involvement. Want to sell dance lessons? Get the customers on the dance floor and let the fun of dancing do same of the selling. The same is true with clothes, uniform, imports, equipment, and almost anything else. Limit the choices if during the sales presentation more than 3 items are in front of these customers. Their chances of sales reduce, while the possibility of shoplifting increases it. For example,